My friends, hello and welcome to GoldenEye SpeedLore, the series where we examine the world records set on a single stage in GoldenEye 007 speedrunning and all the players who made it happen. Tonight is a one-of-a-kind Aztec Part 5. Indeed, I was hoping to do Part 4 all in one night, but it simply went a bit too long, my friends, and so we had to come back for Part 5 of Aztec SpeedLore. So far, we've caught up to the beginning of 2022, believe it or not, which is kind of amazing given that we're doing this episode in 2022. But a lot has happened in this year on Aztec. It has been GoldenEye's most active stage, and so it is completely just and reasonable to do an entire SpeedLore episode exactly on this part of Aztec, the records that are set this year. If you recall, in Part 4 we went over all the sorts of strategy developments and improvements that went into speedrunning Aztec and improving the times, and they were improved, I would say not quite drastically, but that might be around the corner. You know, in 2017, if we look at the world records on this page here, this is actually 2022, start off the year. In 2017, we just had 124 on Agent, 130 on SA, and 135 on 00. So we've seen 2 seconds total get cut. Tonight, we're going to see a lot more get cut. A lot more, believe me. So buckle in because it's going to be insane. Of course, we've seen stuff like, Gus Riolo hitting the very first body armorless Aztec 00 agent completion. Skipping the body armor, because we're able to get more consistent mainframe glass completions. The glass can open every run, basically, or close to it. You can now risk it for the biscuit way more. We see Gus Riolo completing the legendary 134 no body armor. Simply amazing. Again, using the mainframe strategy, we can see someone like Clem really making some risky strategy decisions here after the glass, where he, chucks a nade down, goes, full strafe left console, right through, shooting out the drone. All sorts of stuff has become viable, and actually we're going to see one more strategy become very viable here as well, and all of these combining within one another are going to really make it happen. So here's how it all went down. A couple days towards the end of March, a Finnish speedrunner named Banz, Jani Pitkinen, announced that he had a special video to share with the community. Now, a lot of people anticipated that this was sort of a mini Unhoard, or in this case, if it's only one world record or one time, maybe it's more of just a reveal. Maybe he got a good time and he's going to reveal it to the world. Now, at this time, our pal Samo Sammy, longtime SpeedLore legend and good friend of the channel, and he can be a fellow troll poster as well, a funny guy, this Samo Sammy. He was going for Depot Secret Agent 38, which would have been an Untied world record, and it was widely believed that Banz may also have been going for Depot Secret Agent 38. This would have created some conflict. Maybe Banz would have got the record first and Samo would have got really mad. And so in this video, this director's cut tribute video, Banz would certainly play to that effect quite a bit. And so here is this strange and unusual video that Banz released on March 26, 2022 that many people believed was going to be a reveal of a Depot Secret Agent Untied world record. We can see Samo is getting upset at the thought that maybe Banz has this world record. Some comfy Samo rage to hype it up. A very cheap animation of Samo launching some sort of device towards Scandinavia. Could it have simply been a ruse of some kind?
Steps to Untied. Think outside of the box. Box. Play.
So that's usually what happens if you're trying to run the first room on Aztec Secret Agent. It's not enjoyable whatsoever. It's amazing anyone even considers playing, running the first room on Secret Agent. It is borderline unplayable, I would say. Maybe not even borderline, it may simply actually be unplayable. Like, look at this. Imagine this is your session. Yep, see.
Yeah, let me get you some points. Yeah, like, these starts that I'm doing with the more aggressive turn, it is so worth it, dude. It saves 0.15 on average. You just Untied? You got the Untied Banz? The one you were talking about? Your shoes.
Wow.
Play more.
That is very troll. It's interesting how he's not, like, showing his big rooms on these sort of slow reveal. So now he's tied the world record, Aztec Secret Agent 130, which is a great time. What'll happen next?
Research properly.
See, it looks like he's gonna finally opt for the natural stuck mainframe. Surely he can't survive with only 1 bar of health. Or can he? The insane box ending. Unbelievable. Strafing into the box, destroying the drone, and then you're safe. You're pretty much safe at that point in time. Oh my goodness. The first time this has ever been pulled off in a run. Yes, this was on the PAL console. $129 Secret Agent, new Untied world record. Banz did it. Banz achieved the Untied world record. Aztec Secret Agent 129. An amazing job. A huge congratulations to Banz on the run. It's a great run. And the only, like, you know, really good run, right? Charging the right guard, which is probably the best first room strategy on Secret Agent. Up here, there's only one slight thing, and he referenced it. He had not the best animation from that guard, so he has to, like, do 1 extra quick pause, or, like, wait the amount of 1 extra quick pause, so it's, like, wastes about 1 second here by that guard not having the best animation, but because he's learned how to use the box ending, and this is the first time anyone's ever used the box ending on a world record speedrun in this game, he can now skip the body armor. He can survive with only 1 bar of health on Secret Agent, which was normally impossible, and he can skip the body armor and run in here. I mean, even getting hit once here is, like, unlikely, but it still gives you a chance, whereas you used to never have a chance. And so, as a result, comes in here, uploads the launch protocol data, gets behind the box, strafing against the box, the drone doesn't hit him, shoots out the drone while kind of maintaining speed against the box, and then you're pretty much safe here, and you just have to sit and wait. Bingo, bango, bongo, he gets 129, new Untied world record. Amazing, amazing stuff. He was very happy with this time. I'm going to find his original comments about the time, because he was very, very understandably. He said, you know, it was his first Untied world record. He thought this one would be 131 or higher because, you know, the guard had the weak reaction on the mainframe. There were a couple slight stucks, etc., but it was a solid run. No back boosts. You know, really, really good run. He said most of the grind, he wanted this Untied badly, he wanted Untied. He said most of this grind he played with poor strategies. He was running the first room and he was doing forced stuck mainframe. He regrets both of those because running the first room makes the level hellish, it's not worth it. And forced stuck mainframe is like 1 or 2 seconds slower. But eventually he figured out, you know, how to get a reasonable chance at a natural stuck mainframe, which of course, if you weren't here last night or haven't seen part 4, it's when you go in here and don't go to the left to shoot in the corner. You just play the level, kind of run through normally, and hope the guard is stuck in the mainframe. And that happens, like, at best, like 5-10% of the chance. So it's not amazing, but if he is stuck, you have like a 90+% chance of the glass being open. So that's natural stuck, and that's eventually he decided he has to go for that. I think that shows like a very kind of interesting philosophy, though, because, you know, a lot of players, you know, some runners we showed last night, you know, all sat around 138, 139 on 00, you know, 133, 134 on Secret Agent with the forced stuck mainframe, and didn't do the natural stuck because they felt it was too difficult. And even Banz here, who eventually would go on to untie the stage, also felt it was too difficult, at least for a little while. So there it is. Banz got the Untied world record, ostensibly. It's truly amazing. And even in there, he referenced that he had gotten 130 Secret Agent a few weeks before. So this is March 4th. Let's take... So, okay, so here he's doing his older strategies, we can see, you see. Running the first room, which is probably not ideal. And then forced stuck mainframe, which is like costs the time that he lost running the first room, or that he saved running the first room rather. And so, you know, it's tough out there to make these. The thing with Aztec is there's so many choices and decisions to make that, you know, you're always maybe sacrificing something for something else. So running the first room, he's sacrificing consistency for time, but then doing forced stuck mainframe, he's sacrificing time for consistency. And it's unlikely to get a run where you just don't sacrifice anything. But yeah, another illustration. This time he got hit twice. He only got hit once. That was a really great execution of the box ending. Really, really, really nice. So good stuff there. Yeah, we'll watch it out. 20 seconds here. Nice shots. You can just kind of do nothing. It's safe enough. But there are guards who can come approach and pass you away there, but it's not super common, but it does happen. So there's Banz's 130 on March 4th and his 129 on March 21st, which he revealed on March 26th. Now the person who was giving the biggest sigh of relief here was Sammy, because, you know, he was thrilled that Depot Secret Agent 38 was still there to get, and he would actually go and get that and get his first Untied in the game. So that was cool. That was a cool moment in its own right. I'm sure we'll talk about that in the year in review or something like that. So Samo was happy. However, another man sat there witnessing Banz, Yanni Pitkinen, scoring this purported Untied world record, and he was there in conflict. He did not know what to do. He was thinking to himself, oh dear, this is I've got myself into it now. That man was Gus Riolo, the one with 134 00 agent. Because you see, all the while, Gus Riolo had been playing in the background, Aztec as well. So the whole time Banz is going for this Untied, Gus was also going for the Untied, using a different strategy. And on March 18th, so 3 days before Banz's 129, Riolo would get this run. And he didn't reveal it immediately because he was hoarding in the Hoard that eventually became known as Hoardapalooza. So, Gus goes in here and uses the crouch strategy. After about 2 months of grinding, Gus is able to get a run with the crouch strategy on Secret Agent. Now he goes and gets the body armor. He doesn't know that the, you know, box ending has been pulled off yet on console. So he goes and gets the body armor. He can survive like 2 or 3 more hits. He's super safe here. And if you don't know, I mean, this saves in unfathomable amount of time. It's simply remarkable how much time the crouch strategy can and does save. It's simply just too insane. I can't agree more, Pogo Pope. Aztec Secret Agent 125. A 4-second Untied, but actually a 5-second Untied, because he had gotten this 3 days before Banz got 129. And so Gus reveals this to the world, and it's apparent that Banz never had the Untied. Banz's 130 was a tied world record when he got it, but the 129 was never untied. And Banz simply didn't know it because Gus was hoarding. That truly feels bad, man. And Gus felt bad because he had no idea that Banz was going to play for 129. And so Gus immediately decided to reveal this time to the world and say, okay, guys, I've been playing with the crouch. I got some runs, and I'm going to abandon Hoardapalooza and just post my times. And it's interesting because it's like, you know, Gus had 3.5 bars of health there. We saw Banz survive with the box ending with 3.5 or 2.5 bars and 1 bar. And so theoretically, you know, Riolo could have skipped the body armor here with box ending and survived. Of course, Riolo didn't know that, you know, this was viable yet, and all the techniques that made it work or not. But it is amazing to think, like, it does kind of show, I guess, what's interesting is that, like, with the best of Gus's knowledge, something like 125 was close to optimal with the crouch strat and getting BA. But with what Banz was doing, something like 128 was close to optimal, you know, with natural stuck mainframe and skipping BA with box ending. But if the two combined their knowledge, you know, crouch strat plus skipping body armor, you know, what do you think is what do you think is possible here if Gus skips the body armor? I would estimate, if this is 125, like, imagine instead of going to the BA here, he goes left, goes through, you know, right about now, he's pausing for the launch protocol data. That's got to be saving, like, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, you know, is something like Aztec Secret Agent 122 possible? It seems so. It seems so. And who knows what lengths Aztec will be dropped to throughout the night and throughout the future. Now, of course, Gus also revealed that that Secret Agent run was not the first run he had gotten with the crouch strategy that was a new record. He had actually played Agent first, which is obviously makes sense, just the easier difficulty. And on all the way back on January 14th, he had gotten this run. Go in here, get the 4% guard running to the glass animation. You have to perfectly shoot him in the leg. You have to kind of snap in there. The guards have to open the glass quickly. Then you have to get unstuck, which isn't free, I'll tell you that. You can easily get trolled there, and he kind of does a little bit. Goes over here, gets a nice pause and boost through the console, though, which is always positive. Nice boost forward. Agent, it's cake to survive here. Well, he has ghost health, but even so. Oh my god, that was actually kind of scary. So long as he doesn't choke the vents, he should be okay. Yeah, I don't know why people peek down the drone hallway. It's like so unnecessary when you're in the vents. But if Banz' run is anything to suggest, maybe people will no longer really go into the vents on Aztec runs. There we go. Aztec Agent 122 by Gus Riolo. Pretty nice time, pretty nice new record, and what can you say? Banz kind of got trolled in a lot of ways. You know, we're hoping that you know, Banz looked like he was going to get his first Untied, but instead it was simply revealed that Gus Riolo had actually completed the Untied sweep. Agent 122, Secret Agent 125, and had the 00134. That's just the way it goes sometimes, you know? And yeah, the 122, we can see like a little bit of like time loss, especially like here. Gets the glass open. Like if he doesn't get backed and stuff and like troll to the side there, he probably lost like a full second there or so. And so, you know, 121, maybe 120 is probably well within the realm of possibility on Aztec Agent. Bit of a back boost there. You know, you could, you know, here and there. 121, 120, probably doable. But it was a shocking moment for sure, you know. You can imagine these sorts of moments. You know, Banz announces he has a great run. It appears to be Untied, and then, you know, a day later it's revealed, no, it was never Untied. Oh, Gus drops the Untied sweep. Pretty dramatic, pretty remarkable. Quite a twist ending, you know. You wouldn't be expecting that. And these are the kind of stories that make SpeedLore what it is, you know, so I certainly am not too mad about it, or too opposed to it, I would say, you know. So, who knows? When it happens to you, though, it feels bad. I will say, as a quantum of solace for Banz, he would later achieve his first Untied world record on a different stage, so that's good. It was a happy ending for everyone. Well, now we're going to get into a very strange and unusual portion of the night. Because once again, for no reason, I decide to get involved. I don't exactly know why. I don't exactly know what I was doing, why I decided to play GoldenEye at this time. I hadn't really played in the past year since my 13500 Agent. But I decided, you know what? I guess, in a way, I kind of felt a little bit of unfinished business with my 13500 because I kind of felt like I could have been the one to get the Untied, but I kind of, you know, let it slip. I kind of choked it, whatever the case may be, and Gus beat me to it. So I felt a little bit of unfinished business there, I guess. And then the first several weeks of April passed, and no one was posting new Aztec times. Like, it wasn't even that, like, no one was getting the world record or improving the world record, because that is still hard. But, like, no one was even, like, posting an improvement at all. And that kind of thing does bother me when that happens. It's like, there's an obvious new strategy, or an obvious new combination of strategies. Like, guys, like, come on, let's put our nose to the grindstone and play. And so I decided I was going to play. April 23rd, 2022 is probably the beginning of what you could call my grind on Aztec 00 Agent. It's when I got my first, what I would say, very notable run on the stage. A run so notable that we're going to dedicate it to our SpeedLore champion, Soul O'Rock. A huge thanks, Soul, for supporting SpeedLore on Patreon. This run is definitely significant, I think, you know, in the whole scheme of GoldenEye, to be honest. It's not a PB, it's not a world record, but it's a notable run because it's kind of when I told myself, like, okay, this is happening. Like, this can happen for some reason, you know, as Aviathex says, you know, it should have been a proper gold rush, but it simply was not. And this is kind of when I realized, like, okay, it's happening. I can do it. And I wasn't really playing, like, openly on stream. I was mostly playing quietly in the background. But I was getting these runs, you know, behind the scene. Natural stuck mainframe. So I'm not doing crouch. But I figure, okay. And, dude, look at this terrible reaction by this guard. That probably cost 2 or 3 seconds. The idea was this. If I could get a natural stuck mainframe, basically get a run like Riolo's 134. But it's much easier to skip body armor now because of the box ending. So I chuck the nade, I do the cross paths method, I miss, and I start pausing, unpause, pull to PP7 to finish blowing up the console. That again costs like 2 or 3 seconds. Juke the drone with the truer drone. I have 6.5 bars of health, so not even full health. Riolo had full. 2. There we go. We're behind. We're behind, baby. Double O agent. And this would become only the second run in GoldenEye history where someone would survive Aztec Double Agent on a, you know, decently fast speed run with no body armor. And there was just so much time loss there that it really showed me, like, I can do this. I can get this So it's just sort of believe in yourself, you know? So it was Aztec Double Agent 138, but it is notable because of how much time loss there was. Like, you know, this guy, you want to have the best reaction, and he had a terrible reaction. And that is partly your fault. Like, you want to go for the chest or the weapon rather than the limbs. 2, 3, 4. I mean, that was like a 4-second time loss. Like, at least you could easily say it's a 3-second, maybe 4. So we'll say 3 to be conservative there. And then here, like, that should have blown up, but I missed a shot. So then I don't want to shoot the AR-33 again because it'll lure a guard who's on the other side of this wall and it'll clog me in the vents. And so I pulled the PP7, I have to shoot twice. That cost another solid 2 seconds. So we could say, you know, total 5 to 6 seconds were lost by just missing shots and getting bad reactions. But I did pull off the box ending pretty well. It did take me like a week or 2 to really learn it and get it like at any level of like consistency. And you still do fail it a lot, and I'm gonna show a failed run next. But yeah, 138. And I think it gives evidence that something like a 133 or 132 is probably possible. So a couple days later, I'm playing more Aztec Double Agent, and I get a really good run that definitely could be Untied pace as far as I'm concerned. So let's really good start. You know, one hit there was kind of a boosty side boost. So no time loss. Natural stuck mainframe. So that part was a little bit unideal, having to kind of like strafe a little bit backwards to finish off that one guard, but not a huge deal. 1, 2, pause. 33 pause, I believe, could get 133. Maybe even better. Glass opens really fast. Spinorama. One more hit there, unfortunate. get a nade, toss it down, do the cross path. I hit the shot finally. So this would basically be the ideal version of that last 138. Pretty much a perfect run. But I totally choked the box ending. Totally choked it. Have about a 5 to 6 second death here. So the end timer is 106. And you can see 136 on my file PB there. So sit roughly a 5-6 second death, and I probably pass away about 1 or 2 seconds after uploading. Oh yeah, I probably pass away 3 seconds after uploading. So if it's 34 seconds from the end of the upload, and we pass away at 106, on let's say 5 second death, that means I passed away at 101. That means I uploaded at 58, which means it would have been a 132 if I completed this. But what can you do? You know, sometimes the run just doesn't give way, you know. It was a missed opportunity, a choked run. I'm still a bit, you know, I still kind of think about this run. You know, it is SpeedLore after all. I'll give the hidden lore behind this this run. So, you know, it was April 27th. I was there late one night. We were chatting with our old pal Woody for the first time in ages, you know. I'm sure he's talked about this on his own stream, but he had just gotten out of the, you know, military, and so he was back and he was chatting with the boys, and you know, he was you know, we're having a good time. And the thing is, you know, he kind of isn't interested in GoldenEye anymore, so like I didn't want to kind of like tell him like, oh, I'm on this insane run, like be careful, like you know, simmer down there, let me focus. And he was really rambling about how he was learning billiards. And, you know, I hope he's doing well at billiards, you know, no doubt. But it was, like, just enough distraction where he's telling me about all these legendary billiards games, which was cool to learn, for sure. But it really was a bit of just enough of a distraction for me to miss the... See, I just missed the edge of the box there. I got on the guard, I couldn't compensate for it, and I lost the run. And what can you do, you know? You chatting with the boys, and sometimes it just be like that, unfortunately. Yeah, that's just the way it goes, baby. It is what it is. That's what they say. It is what it is. A couple days later, May 5th, I would get this run. This is a notable run because, you know, oftentimes I would only go natural stuck mainframe, but because I wanted to practice the box ending on like legitimate runs, I decided I'll occasionally, just depending on how I feel in that run, sometimes go with the forced stuck mainframe, which loses like 2 seconds. Maybe even 3 seconds. And so this run is forced stuck. Now keep in mind, most players, like, you know, we showed the Irie run last night, we're getting 138, 139, 140 with forced stuck. And so the question is, like, how much faster are you going to get on a forced stuck run with skipping the body armor? And so we have 6.5 bars of health, double agent, juke the drone, forced stuck mainframe. Let's watch it play out. Man, I really kind of almost lost it there too. Look, I only have one bullet in the AR-33. I have to really think about it. And it's hard because you can slip off here quite easily. Pull out the laser. I'm still thinking about it. Do I even bother to blow it up? I think I didn't even blow up the drone. I just said, F it, I'm gonna strafe against the box the entire time. And you can play out the ending like that. It is dangerous. It is dangerous, as I'll explain in a moment. There's a reason I stopped doing that. $136.00, which is insane considering it was a forced stuck mainframe. But yeah, the problem with doing this is like somewhere around like 20 seconds to 15 seconds left on the countdown timer, a guard can approach you from the left and shoot you and pass you away, or even if you have full health, he still boosts you off of the crate, and now you're wide in the open and you will get hit and pass away. So you should always shoot out the drone if you can. You know, I learned it the hard way by losing a different run, you know, getting knocked off the crate by an oncoming guard. So it does happen. But yeah, insane that, you know, previously, you know, force stuck runs were getting 138s, 139s, and now we're getting 136 with them. And that's like, okay, I'm really telling myself, like, okay, I can absolutely get the world record on the stage if I get a clean, natural stuck run, skipping BA. And, I mean, now I've survived 2 decent skipping BA on 00 runs, you know. We'd only seen 1 in 25 years before this, you know. Gus's 1 run since 1997, and now I'm just getting them, like, you know, every day or 2 I'm getting a completion skipping body armor on 00 agent. So it's happening. This is when you get the "it's happening" gif. It's happening. It's amazing. And what else can you say? It's happening. And as such, this next run that I got on May 20th, 2 weeks later, mind you, so it took a bit of a grind, but this run here is dedicated to our SpeedLore champion 4-day bender. It is a remarkable, wonderful run. Let's give it a look. And now keep in mind, I did not post this run because, believe it or not, I was in Hoardapalooza, and I was wanting to hoard this run for the reveal about a month or 2 later. Oh man, that hurts. Like, I probably lost a full second there, maybe a little bit more than a full second. I reloaded before I should have. It was a 34 pause there, so keep that in mind as well. I only have 5 bars of health. This is pretty insane. Glass opens. Beautiful spinorama. Oh my god, I only have 3.5 bars of health. Oh my god. Oh yeah, this part is insane, actually. Kinda missed the upload. Ghost health. But I somehow get there. And I only have the PP7 now. It would be insane if a guard actually came in here. I don't think one does. I think one might roll in at the very end, though. Nope. Insane run. $134.00. We slayed Gus Riolo's Untied world record. $134.00 body armor skip, natural stuck, box ending. It's simply beautiful. And yeah, this piece is really unfortunate because, like, I just thought I hit him in the head and I reloaded too early. That cost me like a full second. And then later on, actually, here, I kind of get boosted past the mainframe, and so I have to kind of turn around to upload. And so that probably costs a second too. So again, like 132 is definitely like on the table. And over here, oh yeah, so I only have 3.5 bars of health. Now usually, 3.5 bars of health, you would pass away by getting hit twice in the big room. Because you have 3.5 bars, and 2 bars of damage is what lasers or drones do. So that's 4, you have 3.5, you'd pass away. But the way damage works in this game is if you take like explosion damage, which is only like very partial damage, it affects it in such a way that it usually allows you to get into ghost health. And so this part may not be like, I'm sure one of the scientists could explain this more fully, but because I took damage there, but it was effectively 0 damage off that nade explosion, and you make that nade explosion to pass away the guards. You know, there's 2 guards in this room. You saw one's foot right there. Because I took like 0.0 damage off of that, I believe it actually like gave me enough additional health, or triggered the ability to get into the ghost health here, which you usually don't have. And so it allowed me to take 2 hits here, when usually you would pass away. Yeah, I believe that to be the case, Mystic Cheese. Who says that, you know, it's insane that taking damage allowed me to survive the 2 hits there. But it did. May 20th, 2022, we nailed the run. It was amazing. So at this point, I haven't revealed this run to anybody. I am hoarding it in Hoardapalooza, in which, you know, eventually Will Zelliver, Lake Demon, Paracousia would be in the Hoard. We had lost a number of Hoarders at this point. Gus Riola was going to be in it, but he stepped out after he got the Untieds. JD Black was going to be in it, but he was convinced to stop hoarding because of a Samo 35-minute dissertation on why hoarding is bad. There was a couple others who were, you know, in the Hoard but didn't end up getting any times, and it's the way it goes. It's hard to hoard. But I was still in the Hoard, and so I wanted to make a music version of the song. Now, the music version, I decided, let's make the most epic, funny, amazing Nightcore song and put that with our Aztec 134 to make it as epic as humanly possible. And so I did just that. And, you know, the point in a Hoard is to be kind of silly and funny and epic. Of course, maybe that's the point of life. And so I used the most classic song in all of Nightcore here. The one and only Angel with a Shotgun. And I made a really epic edit. It's a great run. I personally love it. You know, I don't care what anyone else thinks. And we're going to watch it here on stream in SpeedLore. So let's give it a look, baby. Wow. I love that edit. It's truly amazing. It certainly makes me smile. And, you know, if there's one thing to take away from speedrunning, it's that hopefully it at least gives you some good memories and something to smile about, you know, in the later months and years and so on and so forth. So that sort of does it for me. And a couple things that I noticed on second watch of that run are, one is over here when I'm taking up the drone, it's actually pretty clutch in that, you know, I miss a couple shots. I miss my first 2 bursts on the drone. I kind of, you know, dress this guy down with 15 shots, and then I shoot 2 bursts, but miss, but then I have enough wherewithal to, you can't just sit there shooting. You have to do 2 bursts. If you miss, then you gotta strafe against the crate again. And obviously I've been playing the level for about a month at this point, so I was able to have that, you know, frame of mind to be able to pull that off. You know, I messed this up many times before, and that experience really pays off by making sure to get there and take out that drone. Because if you don't take out that drone, it will hit you at this point in time. That's why it needs to be taken out. And then earlier in chat, Tony Nubarez asked, does cross-shooting that computer lose time compared to being shot through it? Yes. So the strategy of shooting from over here is slower than other techniques of getting through it, but given we're doing such a risky strategy, skipping the body armor on Double Agent, it is like the safest technique. And so that's why it was done there. But it is a great point, like, maybe there's something faster that can be done there, and especially given that the whole level's become more consistent, and we're pushing it further, you know, maybe it'll happen. Maybe something even better will happen than that. But yeah, I got 134. I was pretty pumped. I was kind of considering, like, keeping it to myself even and, like, hoarding it beyond the Hoardapalooza, but I was simply too keen. I shared it with the boys, and they were pumped to see me at a world record. I was pumped to get it, and it was epic. But I would never actually end up showing that run in Hoardapalooza for some strange and unusual, unseen circumstances. Okay, so here's this clip from my original Aztec Double Agent 134 that I included in a video I later made about the whole ordeal. And in this, I have some voice chat commentary with Perfect Ace. You know, I'm in chat with Perfect Ace. He, you know, is a good guy to be in chat with when you're playing some GoldenEye because he knows the score. He can give some great tips. You know, he knows, you know, if it's time to let you focus or whatever. And so here's a bit of that commentary, some of my narration as well, but we'll give this a listen here for about a minute. Slip off the crate at the end, resulting in exposing yourself to the dangerous room of lasers and sentries. But once I got it down, I knew that many reasonable runs with 5 bars or 3.5 bars of health headed into the big room had at least a chance of surviving and thus nailing that world record. Something that previously was just simply not possible. Oh my god, I think this is a 135.
You're in such an insane position.
I know, I don't want to move. I think it's 135.
Oh my god.
It could even possibly be 136.
What are the chances we get the 134?
I hope so, but I don't know. Holy f***, we did it, boys.
Insane. I gotta say, that is a nice looking end screen time.
Holy f***. Wow, that was the initial, you know, reaction to the insane new world record. So Ace knew about it, the boys I was hoarding with knew about it, and that was actually it at that point in time. No one else had known about it, so pretty crazy stuff. I would keep playing though, and actually only 2 days later I would get another run. So this run is the local recording. It wasn't streamed. It was the local recording of me playing Aztec Double Agent. This run is very crazy and very weird because something clicked, you know, in that hypnagogic state where you're about to fall asleep or waking up. I was thinking of like faster ways to play Aztec, and I remembered Clem's 130 SA from like last year, and I thought like, oh my god, like now that we're getting better at living the ending of Aztec, you could just throw the nade down, instead of going the cross path, just shoot the left side, strafe through, shoot the drone, carry on, and pause here. You pause there to avoid a guard coming in the vent. It's like weird the way the direction you look affects it. You pause there, and then like you should be able to survive 2 hits, get behind the crate, and live an Aztec double agent run. And what surprised me about this Clemens' run here is he gets a 130 on this run. His pause right here is at like 133. So think, or rather, it's at 33 seconds. The little second time, the second hand timer there. And so you think about it, and it's like, okay, so 33 seconds here, and he gets 130. If we compare this to my own 134, I have like I think I have a 34 pause at that point. So, I mean, yeah, it's like about a 34 pause is what a second hand timer is. So, it's just funny that it happens to work out that way, that like the end time is about a minute slower than whatever your second hand time is at the first pause. But 34 equals 134, yet on Clemens, 33 equals 130. So the conclusion I came to was that doing the left side drone shot like that and running here saves about 3 seconds, believe it or not, over the, way that me and Riolo did the body armor skip, which is by throwing a nade and shooting at the crossways. It's hard to believe that it saves 3 seconds, but like it seems like it saves like 3 seconds. Which is insane. So, given all that, I began practicing with that method. And because I wanted to practice that specific method, I also decided, okay, I might do the forced stuck mainframe, which loses 2 or 3 seconds, because I want to get more runs to the end. Makes sense. I want to practice the ending. I want to get more runs to the end. So if I do forced stuck mainframe, that's fine, because I'm just kind of going through the motions, getting the feel for it. Is this viable? Is this survivable on Double O Agent? Can I do it? So I'm just hanging out with the boys. I have this really troll stream layout. Of course, a reference to the angel with a shotgun, this famous image that 200 million people have seen while listening to their favorite music on YouTube, in my sidebar. And I'm playing, and I'm in chat with Ace. I believe one of us was listening to ASMR as well, and so you might get some of those, whoosh sounds, some strange sounds in here. Just a heads up if that. And so this run is very bizarre, very strange and unusual. As a result, it's dedicated to our SpeedLore champion, Mr. Moxie. A huge thanks to our pal, Mr. Moxie, for supporting SpeedLore on Patreon. Let's take a look at this remarkable and unusual speedrun. It's very bizarre. I think we're also, Ace and I are talking about how if the right records get tied, he could potentially have like the 5 or 6 oldest Untied world records in the game, something like that. So here we go. Right now.
Wait, do you have a list where you can see? Because I'm only looking at the table where I actually have to manually check the number in brackets.
Go down the LSU on page on the world record database.
Oh yeah,
and,
there
scroll
it is.
down.
There it is, the table beneath.
And then, so, I think, like, just letting things take their natural course, Bunker 1, 101 will be the first of those to fall, and then eventually someone will go for Train 148 when it gets too cooked. Then you'll just naturally have the top 5.
Yeah, I feel like S1 147 double will also fall, whether by Callie himself or someone else laying it, because that's also, like,
Yeah.
not that strong.
This run is deranged,
And then
honestly.
after mine, we have his 146, which could... Oh man, then you have some interesting ones. Facility 50.
Oh my god, this has a chance. That was so well played. It's hard. It's hard. Oh my fucking god.
Oh, you have the laser at least.
Oh my fucking god. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know if it's 134 dupe or what.
Was this with forced?
It was forced. It might have been I think it might have been a 37 pause, which is 134, but I don't know.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Holy but I pulled it off. Like, I pulled off the strat, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, forced with the consistent strat is just... And still getting a world record in scope, regardless.
Yeah, forced mainframe. And I got the record. That's crazy. I mean, now I just have to go non-forced.
Yeah, I mean, you honestly kind of caked this.
It's true, I did get that like 2 days after my original 134. Yeah, I mean, to get it twice in basically like three sessions.
And was this with the Clem style? I'm assuming it was, with the 37 pause.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's such an insane... I mean, it's a good proof of concept because it shows it's survivable. There you go. Good proof of concept, shows that the technique is survivable. 134 dupe, and yeah, like, I'll rewatch it here on the raw run version. But I mean, it is amazing. It truly is amazing because, like, the framework of this run, you know, Aztec 00 first room, Mainframe stuck guard, etc., was getting 138, 139 for most people up until a couple years ago. By doing natural stuck Mainframe and skipping body armor, you know, it's amazing to think what can come of it now. And even on this run, with forced stuck, it's like, okay, how much time does just skipping the body armor save? Which, of course, is further enabled now with the box ending. And that's like, okay, let's pump up even the body armor skip even more by doing the left side, you know, technique, which is very difficult and very, very risky. You know, it's way easier said than done because... like, you can get shot here, and the nade priming doesn't work out. You get shot in there. You take damage here a lot of the time. You take damage there. And then also here, because you have to pause here to prevent the guard from, like, coming into this vents and trolling you, just because of the way loading him and looking around works, you don't have full speed in the big room, and so it makes it a lot harder to, like, get to the crate. Although you kind of hope to get a boost, ironically. Even though you're hoping to survive and only take 1 or 2 hits, you're hoping one of those hits is a boost forward towards the mainframe to give you speed. Like, you'll notice I'm nowhere near at full speed here. Gets in. I mean, I was pretty lucky to survive it, and I kind of even, like, I kind of shifted deep left, but you ironically don't get hit that much there. I almost could have got hit by that guy twice. But I've never really gotten hit there. He kind of has to run right in this sort of gap to hit you. And I've actually never taken a hit from that guy. Even if I'm not in a perfect position here. Aztec 00134 dupe. And again, at this point in time, nobody really knew that, A, I was playing this. Like, a handful of people knew. But certainly not everyone. I wasn't, streaming it, wasn't playing it frequently. I was just kind of grinding, I was kind of quietly grinding. Because at this point, obviously, I feel like, okay, I can get the Untied world record. Like, I can actually make it happen. If I get the right run. And, but I wanted to get the Untied and put it in the Hoardapalooza on Hoard, because it would have been epic, I could have even, like, posted my 134 first, with Angel with a shotgun. It would be, oh my god, it's insane. Then, oh, it's even more insane. Goose got the Untied. Like, that was the dream. Could it possibly come true? And that's kind of what I was hoping for. Tony Nubaras asks, is pausing in the big room stupid to think about? So I actually don't think it is. On 00, it definitely is. But I have considered it. I played around with it on, like, Agent, and it just didn't work out. But it's in this day and age on Aztec, anything is possible, so definitely. I agree, like, you could plausibly get, like, super boosted, or even if you just got boosted while pausing. The thing is, on Agent, if I go back to, like, Riolo's 122, you do get a lot of good forward boosts, like, while you're pausing for the launch protocol data. Like, he gets 2 forward boosts, maybe even 3. And so, like, it's hard to get much better than that. A super boost here wouldn't be that, like, effective because, I mean, it might be, but you would be needing to get, like, 3 boosts anyways. That would basically push you right to the mainframe anyways. So, like, I definitely have thought about it. It just didn't quite work out. It's one of those ideas that sounds crazy at first, then, like, maybe sounds reasonable, but then just kind of doesn't work. So, totally. I mean, at this point in time, like, anything can be kind of, thought about and experimented with, So, the day is May 27th, 2020. It's now a week after I got my original 134. 5 days after I duped it, and I'm starting the stream like we did tonight. Warming up for an hour, letting people, filter into their seats to watch a night of SpeedLore. In particular, that night was going to be the first Dark License to Kill episode, and if you're waiting for the next one, it is coming. It is coming soon. First DLC episode, and I'm just playing some Aztec 00. I think I'm playing on a cart that has, like, a PB of, like, 136 or 138 on it, so nobody can see that I have 134 as my best time. People know I had 135 because I'd gone on stream the year before. And, yeah, that famous incident, of course, where I ran out of disk space on the DVD recorder, and so I was lucky that I was also streaming because I was able to use that highlight as proof of the time. On that fateful day of May 27th, something actually almost similar happened because I'd been playing for an hour, recorded footage, it filled up my DVD recorder, and I just turned it off and didn't erase it to start recording again. I was only streaming my gameplay. I wasn't even locally recording at this point, which is actually quite foolish. I was actually having quite a miserable session. I was not playing well at all. In chat there, I say it's just too strange, because it was. It was one of those nights where it's just kind of rowdy, out and about. I kind of just want to get settled in late night to do my lore, and it was kind of a lot was going on. It was tough to do. Tough to get focused. I didn't even have face cam on. I had 2 game feeds doubled, one over where my face cam usually is. Not a great layout. I had this picture of Napoleon overlooking the Sphinx as my sidebar now, which I took a liking to. And I was playing terribly. It was terrible. People were joking about it in chat even. Yeah, there was a countdown timer on screen saying, okay, I'm going to start this lore in one more minute. I had that timer counting down from an hour or so. People didn't know I had 134. They knew I had 135 that had been posted. I was playing terribly. It looked like it was just a silly waste of time before lore, which it kind of was. Yet somehow, all the stars aligned miraculously. What happened next was so truly stunning and shocking that I don't even know how to describe it. Words perhaps don't do it justice. I'm going to let the run play out, and it is simply dedicated to our SpeedLore champion, E Street. A huge thanks, E Street, for supporting the channel so much on Patreon. Truly appreciated. This run is a 1 in a million legendary run, and let's give it a look. I don't even think I had microphone on. I think I turned on microphone towards the end of the run. Natural stuck mainframe. Pretty good there. Could have been, if that guard was a little bit further into room, could have been a little bit faster, but pretty good. Good reaction. Good pause here. We're at 34. So this could, with a perfect ending, get like a 131 if it was exactly like the Clemens style. A bad hit there. 3.5 bars of health. Very unlikely to survive. Again, I took some damage there. No damage there. At this point, I paused for a bit. I was considering writing in chat, like, oh my god, this could be the run. To kind of hype them up a bit, because they were kind of, you know, waiting for lore, not fully attentive, I guess. But I was like, nah, I'm not going to, like, jinx myself. Let's just do it, see what happens. 1 hit, 2 hits, somehow get behind the crate, somehow pass him away with my last AR-33 shot. 2 or 3 laser shots miss, 2 or 3 laser shots again, hit it. I turn on my mic here. Oh my fucking god, guys. Oh my fucking god, guys. Are you fucking kidding me? Holy oh my fucking god. I lived... That's the only footage I have of that run. I wasn't fucking DVD recording. What a fucking strange night. What a strange... I cannot believe I lived and clutched that run. It is so weird. We did it, boys. We did it, boys. Thanks, lads. We did it. Oh, yeah, thanks, thanks, Sammy. Especially interesting that you were the one to slay my previous Untied, and so thanks from you is especially noteworthy and interesting. I guess we're gonna have to do like a mini lore, a mini unhoard lore before. It's insane and strange, and I mean, you can imagine no one was expecting this. An Untied world record on Aztec Double Agent randomly before lore. I mean, rewatching it back, I'm still kind of stunned that it happened. It took me about a month of play, right? This is now May 27th, 2022. It's about a month after that first run I showed where I skipped the body armor on a 138. So about a month-long grind, and I got it. And it's a really good run. It might have been like a low 133, honestly. Like, it was the run. It just, the matter was, like, was I going to survive that run? Similar thing where I had 3.5 bars, but I had taken some damage, which, like, gave me the ability to get into ghost health. Took damage off that. Kind of like a bit of a back boost there, so I'm just going to kind of get through it kind of clean. Not like a very effective back boost, maybe like 0.1 lost there. And then here was good. Right there. That was really nice, honestly. I mean, last bullet, AR-33. It would have been really tough to do it with the PP7 if I didn't hit that there. Had to cycle back the laser. I'm in a way better spot here than on my second 134. And the rest is history. While I was here, though, I reached over and clicked unmute because I wanted to have a bit of a reaction there. And we can see Mirror Mage in chat, our good old pal, knew. He's like, Untied world record. You know, he says, I'm unzipped, is what he says, as you see it come up in a second. He knew, see. Mirror Mage knew. Flicker Form knew. He's like, oh my god, this is insane. And it was insane. It was the Untied world record. I can still almost hardly believe that it happened, honestly. And it's like, I don't want to say it was bittersweet at all, like that's not the right term for it. But because I'm happy to get on stream. Ironically, this was the first Untied world record that I had ever achieved on stream on my main channel. I got Streets Secret Agent 154 in 2014, but I was streaming on the Elite Gaming channel. And then Depot SA 39 was not streamed at all. So this was the first Untied I ever achieved on stream. It was before a lore. I did want to get an Untied for the Hoard, which I didn't end up doing. So that was the 1% bittersweetness, if any. But 99%, you know, elation and being super pumped. You know, it is just crazy when you really think about life and how these things happen. Like, I tried so hard in 2014 to get an Untied on stream, and I did, but it wasn't on my main channel. And then 2017, 18, I was playing again hard, didn't happen. And then randomly, one random day in 2022, when I'm old and washed up, it just happens. We nail the run, and yeah, I mean, I've said a lot about it. I posted a video on the main channel reflecting upon it all, so I don't want to, you know, reiterate too much of that, but it was simply an insane moment. And yeah, that's Tony Nubara says, missed the epic chance of unhoarding an Untied world record, got a super epic chance of untying a record live before a lore. I did, and that is pretty damn cool. So it's an amazing run. I do think it was probably close to 132, and like, I'm not like mad about it, I guess. I definitely had some 132s kind of in the mix on the table. We know that definitely, like, you could have a cleaner black room if that guard on the right runs out further, and so you don't have to break strafe at all for him. That could have saved 1 second. And then I might have lost, a second or two towards the ending, but hey, getting a perfect run is very unlikely, and getting a very good run, which is Untied, is pretty cool. So I'm not going to complain about that at all. And I mean, it's just insane to think that we can survive runs on Double Agent with 3.5 bars nowadays. Like, that would be unthinkable in the boss era, in the Alu era, so on and so forth. And so I think Aztec Double Agent in particular, especially over the last year, now that we've had world records where we've skipped the body armor, has shown more than any other stage, like, just truly how far we've pushed this game. Like, as amazing and outstanding as those early Ilu Untieds were on Aztec 00, when he untied the stage like 7 times in a row, we're talking 154, 152, 150, and now we're all the way down to, 134, 133, skipping body armor, doing... I mean, 133 is faster than the iconic Speed Demos archive page time of Wouter, which was on Agent, which was 135. And so to bring 00 lower than that is unbelievable. And yeah, Mystic Cheese makes a great point, which is going to conclude this episode. There's still more time to be saved, because think of this now. We've seen the crouch strategy on Agent 122. We've seen it on Secret Agent 125. We haven't seen it yet on 00 Agent. Will anyone ever pull off the crouch on 00 Agent? Is such a thing possible, my friends? Well, there is only one more run to show you, believe it or not. Look, it's very difficult to pull off the crouch, even on Secret Agent. Let's pan to Riolo's run here, Secret Agent 125. Shot there. I mean, you get hit there often on 00. You get hit there. And then if you're going to, look how you could probably get hit at least once or twice here. Most of the time you do. So Riolo had this perfect run where he didn't get hit there. I know Riolo has attempted crouching on 00. Hasn't got a run. I tried a very tiny little bit. Didn't really work out. It's hard. I mean, one option you do have on 00 is, like, this Riolo 125, he gets body armor. So, and it's still 125. So on 00, what you could do is keep the AR-33 out here, not pause. Once they open the glass door, shoot them all, then pause. That would lose about 3 or 4 seconds, but it would be safer. It would allow you to live more runs, and you could probably still get 128, 129 on 00 Agent with getting body armor that way. And this opens up like 125 00 skipping body armor, which is insane to think about. And no one has that yet. That is, the next generation of Aztec runs, which may never come, honestly. Like as insane, that might simply be too insane to ever happen. And so maybe we're never going to get to that part 6 of Aztec, where these sorts of, 127 00 or something happens. I will show you that, actually, I made a poll on the forum. I'm going to try to find it here. I didn't have it pulled up here. Aztec. Yeah, what will the Aztec record be by the end of the year? And we can see the votes. If I click on, view votes, or view results, rather, will it be 133 untied, 133 tied, view results, we can see that a lot of people like 131. Some people think, you know, 129 to 127 is doable as well. 4 people thought 133 could still remain untied, which is kind of cool. So really all over the place. Anything can happen. But to the best of our knowledge, 133, believe it or not, still remains untied. I know that might be hard to believe for many, but it still remains untied. And you would think, again, that once we've had all this knowledge sought out, okay, guys, you can, you know, there's all this time out there to be saved, there's more untitled records to be had, you would think that there'd be a mini gold rush. For some reason, there simply has not been. There's only been one more world record set on Aztec since that 133 back in May. Our pal, he's been in here tonight, Mystic Cheese, grinded for 500 hours. He saw the writing on the wall. He thought this was his time to get it untied finally. 500 hours later, on July 26, 2022, Mystic finally clutched out this run on Aztec Agent. Let's take a look, baby. Running the first room, which, you know, on Agent is standard. It's got ammo off screen, very nice in-game option. Gets here. Ooh, the guard on the right is trolling him. He overcomes it. Like, that was actually quite clutch to overcome that guard on the right shooting at him. 24 pause. Backs out. Quite a bit of trollery there, honestly. This pause is kind of slow because you haven't been able to quick pause. Everything happens so quickly, you're not waiting for any guards to open the glass door that you don't have time to quick pause. Didn't even get hit at all. Basically free to survive with 2 bars on Agent. And all Mystic Cheese has to do is pilot the run home safely. He did a similar commitment to turning away from, you know, even though the guard was there. At this point, Mystic skipped having nerves, went straight into shock. While this was, Mystic says it was his first run ever getting back to the vents. He had more than enough health to do it, didn't have to go for the crate ending. Skips the cutscene, completed, Aztec Agent 120. Untied world record by our pal, Mystic Cheese. It is simply, truly remarkable he did it. And, look, it was a great run. No doubt it was a great run. This is clutch. In the black room, I guess he had shot too much earlier, so that this guard on the right actually comes out of his little culvert and shoots you. So to readjust and shoot that guard in the leg to get him to back up onto the little step so that you can get under him is very impressive. I mean, you know, of course, in 500 hours of play, you're going to get these sorts of, you're going to pull off these great runs, but that's very impressive that it happened on this run. And yeah, a little bit of trollery, like, he probably lost 2 seconds there. I honestly think so. And so it was a great run. Everything else in the run was great. Probably lost about 2 seconds there, and so it makes you wonder if lower will happen, because I think it's generally agreed by most of the people who have played Aztec that, like, 119, 118 Agent is definitely doable. Like, 117 would be, like, a pretty perfect run. Like, 117 would be getting to, like, a Facility 42, a Silo 59 type of thing. Maybe not quite, but almost. With, like, current strats and knowledge. You know, Aztec, of course, is, like, the most complicated level, so it's always going to be the hardest one to optimize. But something like a 117, 118 is probably, like, towards the upper limit. as far as we know right now. And that's it, baby. That's literally it. That's the world records today. Mystic 120 Agent, Riola 125 Secret, the Goose 13300. They all remain untied. Is it possible that someone's hoarding and has better or tied? Sure, it's possible, but, you know, this is the knowledge we have now, and so that's what we're going to go with. Mystic has pulled out the reaction video, so let's give it a look. It looks like he's in chat with Will Zelliver. I hope there's no, you know, offensive language in here.
Good job.
It sounds like Will Zelliver's playing Rescue or something.
Alright, one more run.
Oh, yeah, you said you're
Oh,
streaming
dude,
now.
I feel like
Oh, Misty, no. Get it, Misty, come on.
Oh, come on.
Come on, Misty, come on.
Holy
Oh my god! You didn't get the down.
fucking stop joking.
Oh my god.
Come on.
This is it.
Wow, my
This is it.
first completion. Insane.
It's like 122! This is 121, 122.
Even with the choke?
He got an insane upload too. He didn't get trolled.
Yeah, that upload was really fucking with butter.
That was an instant glass, dude. What is this? Oh my god! Everybody
Oh
in
my
here.
god.
I'm getting everybody in here.
Nah, don't.
Don't.
Let the man do what he wants with his run.
Just let him fucking do it.
Look down, look down!
Look
Whatever.
down, look down!
Oh.
Let's go! What the fuck? Fucking congrats, dude! Fucking congrats. Bro, holy shit, Misty.
What? Holy shit.
Bro, sometimes you say the dumbest shit, but from a top player deep down in my heart, a genuine congratulations, my man.
Thank you.
Amazing run.
Absolutely.
Oh man. I'm shaking. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my
My god.
Oh my god. Holy
What is-
shit.
What does Ace have?
Ace has 125.
I think it's 120.
Yeah.
I think that's his hoarded time.
Yeah, Ace is Hoarder 120.
You get credit for it.
Lol.
Yeah. Post it.
I will.
Right the now.
I will.
Mystic, leave, dude. Ace might hear about it and post his.
Just post
Don't
it.
tell
Just
him.
post
Yeah,
it.
I'm working on it. One sec.
No, shut up, B-Down, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Look, he already turned his webcam off. Even if
Yeah, okay, okay. I was just telling you, don't say what the time is. Just to be safe. Just be safe.
Dude, what the? I can't believe that's still 120. I thought it was gonna be 121.
I was
You got pretty at the upload.
I know.
Yeah, the DAT upload was so.
Holy
I
shit.
thought you missed the DAT, and then you took the corner, and I just saw
Fucking
the DAT, and I was like, oh
Tim,
my fucking
Congratulations.
dude.
Genuine, heartfelt congratulations.
Thank you.
Sometimes you say the dumbest shit, but you can be proud of this one, baby. You can be proud of that one.
You're like cringing
Oh,
out
man.
at the guards by the table.
Yeah, that was pretty yikers. Not gonna lie. I had to do it. I had to go
What the
back.
Dude, I can't believe that just happened.
I was
That's
like,
so
"Ah,
crazy.
I missed the dat. I gotta back up to grab it, and then it was like really cringe and lol. But At the pause.
Dude, those vents were fucking bad, by the way.
Yes.
I'm not gonna flame you because I'm sure your heart was about to
Oh my
explode.
God,
but
I
you
never-
peeked without shooting like over 5 times. I was actually so worried. I was gonna say something, but I decided to just let you do your best. Like, when you peek, you gotta be shooting, man. You only had half a bar and you could have got shot like 5 times.
Yeah, dude. What?
I know. This is why I practice, so I can.
Yeah,
not
good thing you were
double fuck
practicing
up.
tonight, huh?
Oh,
You were recording, right?
yes.
We're good?
Yes.
Yeah,
We're
okay,
good.
good.
What the f? That is an
What
insane
the
fucking
fuck?
run, dude. What? I can't go to bed after seeing that shit. That shit got me hyped, man.
Oh my god. Pogo, what did
Holy
you say?
shit.
I said stop choking.
No.
21 more seconds
You
to
said
the
this
barrier,
like 30
bro.
minutes ago. Somebody's getting a record tonight.
You did.
Oh,
He
man.
did say that shit, bro. He
Oh,
was
man.
right. I choked that Untied so you could get yours. You're
Throw me in your
welcome.
comment. Throw me in.
It's pretty good stuff. I mean, look, that is what it's all about. I think, hanging out with the boys, having a good time. I really, really thinking about that. Conversation there with the boys. It's like it really makes me realize how much, especially gaming, speedrunning for a lot of people, that is their social outlet. That is what's needed. Having a good time with the lads, having camaraderie, razzing each other every now and then, building each other up. That's what it's all about. And so, I mean, really, I truly mean this. That run, I think, could summarize the entirety of SpeedLore very well. Like, that's what it's all about. These unexpected stories of people rising up and seizing the moment, and the friends along the way, and all the good times. That is truly and utterly what it is all about. So a huge congratulations to Mystic Cheese for getting Aztec Agent 120. I know there's a lot of suspicion about, people believe Ace is hoarding. I don't buy into these unsubstantiated theories. These are the world records as they stand today on the rankings. Mystic 120, Riola 125, Goose 133. And it is a little bit interesting that, like, there are some new world records, but, like, no one else has improved their times that much. There's no one who's jumped into the 120 territory on Secret Agent. Even between Banz and Riolo, no one's in that range. No one's down there at 134 lower with me and Gus. Even 135, there's no new 135s, in the past year with the box ending. So I think Aztec still remains an underplayed level. Like we discussed, Agent, something around 118, 117 is probably doable. On Secret Agent, Gus's 125 is really, really good, but he does get the body armor. So in theory, you could skip that and get like 122, 121. And then, yeah, on 00, 127, 128 is in theory possible with Crouch, but still no one's pulled off a Crouch run yet. So that is where we stand on Aztec. And it was a great pleasure to do this update video. Perhaps it'll be 5 more years before we get back for Aztec Part 6. I hope so. And I guess we'll see, my friends. But a thanks to everyone for hanging out and watching and chatting, and of course all the SpeedLore legends here on Patreon supporting the series. I really enjoyed doing this update episode. Aztec, of course, it's one of the greatest, most lore-filled episodes, but I really enjoyed it, so thanks for coming along. I hope you enjoyed it too. And Tony Nubara's asks in chat, are there any tool-assisted speedruns with these new strats? There is not on, we showed a 126 on Secret Agent, a humanly viable run, and of course that's been beaten. So until we get some Crouch TSs, that'll be that. And that truly, truly is all, my friends. Thanks again, everyone, for watching, hanging out, chatting, supporting. Always a pleasure. stay true, my friends, and I'll see you in the next stream or video. Good night.